Howdy, YouTube! So let's continue on with this little video series I've titled My 2021. So obviously this is part 2, and I'm getting into March 2021. So if anybody knows what Ohio's like in March, it seems like a switch is flipped and the weather gets better in March. So I've got a lot of work to do, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I don't have a whole lot of video content, but I've got a lot of pictures. So I hope you enjoy this. So I started out my March with this thing on my lap. Yes, the cat. This cat loves me to death. It's been loving me ever since it was a baby. So she wanted some lovin's, so I gave her some lovin's. And yep, it's a cat. Cats really love the lovin's. So I had this thing on my lap. So cat, you got to get off of my lap. I got work to do, and I got this video to finish up. So yeah, cat, you're cat, you're taking up all the video time here. Yeah, cat. Okay. This is fun. But anyways, I thought I'd show you guys this cat on my lap. Starting out my March with a cat on my lap. So in this video, I want to get into this. I had this picture of my dad's drill in my pictures in March. I bought this drill in a kit for my dad for Christmas one year. I think it was 1999, 1988, 88, or it was 99 or 2000, somewhere in there. I bought this drill for him. It's been a very good drill. It still works. Battery still holds charge, and it's still used quite often. So it's held up pretty good. Right on Craftsman. Just love these Craftsman tools. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys this real quick because it was in my pictures for March. So I wanted to continue this video. As you can see, March came in and melted all the snow away and actually got pretty warm, like it is today in Ohio. Today we hit mid-50s. So before I get into what I started to do in March, I want to rewind a little bit back to 2020. 2020, I was searching for some trucks, or I was searching for a truck, and I liked the old F-150, the 90s models. So I got one truck, and I thought, I'm going to do a build. So I ended up picking up this truck here. This truck is a 93 F-150 302 5-speed, 4-wheel drive. So I wanted to pick this up for a build I'm going to do. So reason why I'm showing this now is what you'll understand once I start getting into what I did in May or March. Yeah, we're in March, duh. But anyways, you'll understand when I show you what I've done with this truck. So I got this truck home. I went and picked it up August the 8th, 2020. So this is how you see it. Ended up, when I went to go pick it up, the guy told me it ran. But when I went to go pick it up, I wanted to hear it run. Well, the guy searched for a battery and everything, put a battery in it, and then couldn't get the start and wondering why. Looked around, here there was no starter in it. So I said, man, I can't take this truck, or I don't want to pay what you want for it if I can't hear it run. So we dickered with the price a little bit, and he came down some. So I ended up bringing it home. So, yeah, I got it home, started checking it out, messing around with it. And it was a solid frame. That's what I was searching for. I was searching for a solid frame. I knew this frame was solid on it, and that's what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. So just using this thing for parts. The driver's side of the bed was pretty solid. It wasn't too bad a shape. It wasn't marked up or anything. But on the passenger side, yeah, it's had some damage on the rear of the bed. And then bed sides on these trucks are made out of fiberglass, so they tend to bust up pretty good. So I got the truck off the trailer. The bed was full of just junk, so I wanted to clean the bed out, get the bed, see how the bottom of the bed was like. I got the junk out of the bed, pulled the mat back, and it was pretty solid, not too bad a shape. So I thought, well, I'm going to get this bed cleaned out. So I pulled the mat out onto the ground and inspected the bed a little bit. We'll get to the bed here in a minute. But anyways, yeah, the bed was pretty decent. It was solid. There was one mark I did find in it, though. It was I found out that the spring shackles were broke on it, and it rubbed a hole in the bed, as you can see there to the left-hand side. So I got it all hosed out and cleaned up, and it don't look too bad. So hopefully I could salvage the bed, and hopefully somebody'd be interested in taking it off my hands. So that's what I ended up doing. So, oh, here's that dang cat. This was back in, like I said, this is August when I first had this cat. And I told you, this cat just absolutely loved me. So it's been my buddy ever since. So, yeah, cat, you need to get out of my video here. You're taking up too much time here. You're too cute. Oh, you'll have everybody swoon over you. You dang cat. She is a cute little cat, though. She's just a doll. And she just loved me to death. As you can see here, she just would fall right asleep right on my arm. It was a good little kitty. I still have the cat, though. She's outside right now, but... So this was 2020 when I had this cat, so... She's a good kitty. I figured you guys be interested in looking at this cat. But anyways, get back to my story on that truck. So I had to ended up having to get a starter for that truck so I can get it running. So I got the starter for it. I got it through, I got it on eBay, I think it was. That's how I got it, yeah. So I got the starter, ended up putting it in the truck. So I wanted to get this thing running. So that's what I ended up doing. I got to put the starter in it and got the thing running. So I got a snap of video here of the thing running. So hope you like it. This thing, the truck away, it is air conditioner actually works in this thing. It's blowing cold air. As you can see there, the AC clutch is kicked in, so it's working. What a beast. And it's only got 105 miles on it. Turn on the AC, AC works. Cool air. AC works. The beast. What a tank. So, since this truck ran and drove, I drove around the yard a few times and everything. So that's when I proceeded to get it tore apart. I needed the parts. I wanted to get my project going. So I got it all, started stripping it down. There's all the front end pieces I got. I took the side steps off of it. Then I got in the cab, started stripping the cab so I can get to the bolts in the cab. There I tore the fender off of it. I found out when I tore one fender off that it lost power and I couldn't start it up with the solenoid not grounded out. But anyways, I got into the bed and started getting the bed bolts done. Well, I cut me a slice in the bed bolts so I can put me a screwdriver in the bed bolts so I can get them loose underneath. So that's what I did. Ended up getting them out, got them done. Then when I got to the cab mounts, yeah, I had a little time with the cab mounts. I had to break the torch out. Yep, good old heat. That's what does it. So I got the torch out, got her red hot. Well, that was a big mistake because when I ended up getting them out, but I had a little incident. When my dad hit the gun on the gun, yep, I had a big old glob of rubber come down my mouth, so I burnt my lip pretty good. So it didn't hurt. It didn't feel too good. So that's about a couple days afterwards, and it got worse. I don't want to show the worst part, but anyways, by the end of the 2020, I ended up taking the bed off of it, as you see here. I laid it off to the side. So that's when I got to this point. So here's March. This is March is when I first put the truck in the garage and I wanted to get working on it. As you can tell, the spring shackle was broke, so that's why I wanted to start it on. I want to get them spring shackles fixed. And if anybody takes some spring shackles off, you take a grinder and you grind the rivets off. There's the rivets that you got to grind off. So I started on them, got them ground off. As you can see, it takes a while to get them ground off. And then you can see the rust that was underneath. So I had to clean it up a little bit. And I started tearing it apart. Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take the gas tanks out of this thing. And that's what I proceeded to do. Went ahead and started getting the rear gas tank out. I took all the wiring out of the back half of this truck. So this was starting in March, my March, that I started this little project now. Tear this truck apart so I can get ready to my project. So here's the passenger side spring shackle. It was rusted. It was about ready to come apart. There's the good old Craftsman. I use that Craftsman. I put that sucker to work. It works pretty good. But there you end up. I got the gas tank out of it. Got everything situated. And then I started putting I got Dorman spring shackle hangers. So there they are, brand new. So I started putting them on. Got them all put on. I didn't clean the rust off yet. I just wanted to get this thing, get the spring shackles put on it, get them fixed so I know I had them done. So that's where I wanted to get to this, the point of this build process. Because later on in the year, I started in on this, and you'll see in my future videos of what I did to this frame and everything. So I got the spring shackles on, and this is early March. So by our standards, March the 10th, 72 degrees. That was the hottest temperature ever recorded for March the 10th. So I ended up pulling the truck out. I took a few pictures of it. Got the all spring shackles put on, and I wanted to take some pictures of it outside. It's pretty nice out. So I still had the front gas tank in it, so it'd run. And you can see I put the gas lines for the rear tank in the hose so it wouldn't leak out. So that's when I started maquetting the frame a little bit. I wanted to clean up the rust of the frame. Then I got a good call from my good friend with his Neon. He had a problem with his Neon, so I had to go check him out. I had to go save him. So he's got a 2002 Neon, and he called me up and said, "Hey, I think I broke something in the front end of my car, and I couldn't steer it, so I'm assuming it's the tie rod end." So I go ahead and I gather up some tools and go to save him. So in the meantime, that's when my Durango was going to start flipping 300,000 miles. So I took pictures of it with the mileage going up, and that's when I had my first video on YouTube, was when this thing hit 300,000 miles. So you can see on the countdown going over to my buddy's house, the countdown to 300,000. So that's when I took the video of this. I stopped along the road and I took some snapshots of it, commemorating the 300,000 miles. So I got to my buddy's place, and sure enough, he had a broken tie rod. The outer tie rod end was broke on it. So we ended up going to our Riley's and picking up a outer tie rod end for him. And when I went and put it on and everything, found out that the inner tie rod was bent. So ended up having to bring the car to my place so I could get the inner tie rod. So I do have a video on YouTube with that. I had to go buy a tool. As you can see right there to the right, I had to buy that tool in order to get it done. So check out that video on here. And ending up my March here, I got me some pizza. This is some of the best pizza there is. I absolutely love these pizzas. They're pretty dang good. So yeah, I commemorated my 300,000 miles on my Durango with a pizza. I like adding cheese to it, and I put stuff on it. So yep, there it is. And then I got another video on YouTube when I got this drill here. So check it out when I picked it up. You'll enjoy it. So I ended my March with a toolbox tour. That's when I first did my first toolbox tour of my tool cart. So it's on YouTube, so go check it out. So yeah, if you like this and like this video of my March, I try to make this short and sweet, but it ended up being longer than I wanted it to be. But anyways, that's my toolbox tour that I put on. And I ended my March out with a cheese sandwich. I had to make a grilled cheese sandwich with barbecue pulled pork. That was a pretty dang good sandwich, I tell you what. So this is my end of my video here for this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Ring that bell. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Chef Shade Tree out.